And also, US President Donald Trump has complained that the United States is in fact fighting the war on terror in Afghanistan alone, and has remarked that India, despite its proximity, is sitting idle while Washington is combating terror. Is this really the case, or are Trump's observations signaling a growing frustration on the part of the United States over its failures in Afghanistan? Take a look at this report.
A day after announcing that American forces would not entirely withdraw from Afghanistan, an increasingly frustrated US president suggested that the burden of the Afghan war should be shared also by other countries.
Well, you know, at a certain point, Russia, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, they're going to have to fight their battles too, okay? We wiped out the caliphate 100%. I did it in record time. But at a certain point, all of these other countries where ISIS is around, they've been decimated, by the way, badly decimated. But all of these countries are going to have to fight them. Because do we want to stay there for another 19 years? I don't think so. So at a certain point, other countries, and that includes Russia, and it includes Iran, and Turkey, and Iraq, and Afghanistan, and Pakistan, and India. Look, India's right there. They're not fighting it. We're fighting it. Pakistan is right next door. They're fighting it. Very little. Very, very little. It's not fair.
Frustration with Pakistan's role is not new in Washington. Islamabad received billions in US military aid to help defeat terrorism in Afghanistan, but has done very little effectively. It is a bit more unclear why President Donald Trump directly accused India of not doing enough to fight the US war in Afghanistan. Delhi is not a recipient of US military aid and has made it amply clear multiple times that it has no intention of sending its military into Afghanistan. Unlike the United States, India has troops abroad solely under the banner of the United Nations peacekeeping forces. As an active member in the global war against terrorism, India did its bit in Afghanistan, providing intelligence to the coalition forces that were fighting the Taliban regime, and continues to do so. New Delhi never recognized the Pakistan-backed Taliban government and had opposed them since the 90s by supporting their main rivals, that is, the Northern Alliance. India's policy in Afghanistan has focused on development and trade rather than military operations. Indian investments in the country are worth at least $2 billion and include roads, dams, education programs, healthcare facilities and the country's parliament building. Trump's remarks seem to be a sign of how cornered the US feel in Afghanistan, an attempt to share responsibilities for failing to win a war after 17 years of military presence and $1 trillion spent. Security in the country keeps deteriorating. Peace talks between the US and the Taliban are proceeding, but slower than expected, and hostilities have not stopped.
The security is the worst situation in last 18 years. No province is safe, no capital is safe. Everywhere Taliban and now Daesh can launch their operation.
The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo hinted that the Islamic State terror group in some areas is today even stronger than 4 years ago. In Afghanistan, the terror group has gained a small but unexpectedly strong foothold and has proven to be extremely lethal. Less than a week ago, the group claimed a suicide attack against a marriage gathering which killed 63 civilians. Trump's remarks may just be a signal of the US difficulties in the region, but the rise of the Islamic State in Afghanistan is something India should take very seriously. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.